In terms of 3D software, such as Maya, there are many applications of 3D in the real world, including uses in medical, gaming, crime reconstruction, architectural industries. In the medical industries, 3D softwares are used to construct replacement limbs and teeth. This is used in this way by making scans of the subject and then using the scans to construct a digital version of the subject. This can then create a specialized and perfectly fitted replacement on the tooth or limb. This is beneficial because, as well as having high accuracy, it means the subject is more likely to have issues to be solved with the replacement. So it makes it more comfortable for the patient and has savings for the medical industry as they won't need to make multiple replacements. In the gaming industry, 3D softwares are used to create 3D environments inside the games to get a better quality feel and atmosphere for the player. This in turn can be better for the sales of the game and its sequels. In the 3D concepts of gaming, there are they are seen as the most advanced and are the most bought in the sales department. In crime scene reconstruction, the 3D software is used to recreate a crime scene with all the key points of interest so they can slowly work out the different ways the crime would have took place. This is beneficial as it helps the whole police department be on the same picture and so gets the crimes solved quicker. Furthermore, it helps explore all the options and update to new evidence coming in as the investigation continues off scene. In the animation industry, 3D software is used to create TV shows and movies for entertainment. This means it can be used to create cartoonistic styled work and also be used for realistic live action work to create interesting characters and settings. This is beneficial as it makes TV shows more interesting and varied, so they are more likely to be popular, and it allows for concepts that originally were not possible to become available. Finally, the architectural industry uses 3D softwares to visualize a new build. This can be used as an accurate representation of a building in planning, so it will match up with the surrounding area. This is beneficial as it can help be approved with the local council to go ahead with the build, making the lengthy process quicker. In the software, there are different types of rendering. For example, live rendering, also known as real-time rendering. Real-time computer graphics or real-time rendering is the subfield of computer graphics focused on producing and analyzing images in what is referred to as real-time. The term is most often used in reference to interactive 3D computer graphics, typically using a graphics processing unit, with the video games being the most notable users. This process is measured in frames per second, and Maya, with this process, uses a wireframe understructure with its modeling for the rigs and sets, and then, when fully rendering the frames, uses the shading of the software to render the image. Another example is Mental Ray, which is a post-production render process. Mental Ray is a production quality rendering application developed by Mental Images in Berlin. As the name implies, it supports the ray tracing to generate images. And lastly, the post-production render process, cel shading, can be used as a way to render an object to give a cartoonistic effect. This is used by such game designers as Christopher Dess, who worked on GTA 5. Editing primitive objects in 3D can be really easy once you know how. As you can see, using the sculpting brushes in Maya and Mudbox allows you to create from cubes and spheres an entirely new object, like a building or a tree. This can be used to create scenes for objects and settings in animation, movies, and games. Furthermore, this can be used to practice when you are animating without a rig, so you can gain a visualization of the early stages of development. Extrusion modeling is another common modeling method that is sometimes referred to as inflation modeling. In this method, the user creates a 2D shape which traces the outline of an object from a photograph or drawing. This, as you can see, is useful for rigs and sets to match them up with storyboards and concept arts from the project. In the 3D computer graphics, 3D modeling is a process of developing a mathematical representation of any surface of an object, either inanimate or living, in 3 dimensions via a specialized software. Models may be created automatically or manually. Vertex and edge manipulation in Maya can be found by gaining access to these tools. You can right click on the background and click on either tool to access the modeling aspects of a character. Maya is an animation and modeling program used to create a 3-dimensional 3D full motion effects. Maya incorporates the natural laws of physics to control the behavior of virtual objects in computer animation. It is often used to create animations. Our last topic of rendering time. Rendering time is the automatic process of generating a photorealistic or non-photorealistic image from 2D or 3D model by the means of computer programs. Also, the result of displaying such a model can be called rendering. This can be impacted by the texturing of a scene or file, where the more detailed texturing you have, the longer time it will take to render the scene, as it has to process more. The same can be said about the colouring and lighting of a scene. The more lighting you have, the more natural laws it has to generate to impact the scene. This adds to the amount of time to render. Lastly, the more objects and modelling of the objects in the scene or file, the more it has to go through to create and process the frame by frame rendering.